What's good, y'all? It's your boy Sean Peter Blunt guy. Hey! And today we are going to be having a One Piece chapter 1056 discussion and predictions for future chapter. And we have some guests today. I'm gonna have my panel of two today. But before I get into that, make sure you guys hit that like button, also subscribe and hit that bell for notifications. Follow me on Twitch, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Also join the Discord. All of these will be in the description box below. So let's get into it. So what's up, man? So we had this chapter, right? We had a lot. We had a lot going on in this chapter, man. A lot going on in this chapter. It's like, where do we start, right? Where do we start? Let's kind of give Joy or give Angel some time. Let's kind of talk about just some other small things. So we got Katakuri. What did you think of that? We got Katakuri, Oven facing off the Vince Smokes. Man, I ain't gonna lie, I was a little hyped about that. Just having Katakuri back in the story, just nice. But where do we go from here, right? Where do we go from here?
So, because I wanted to talk about this cover story, because I do feel like now that we see with Shanks, that the previous cover story that we saw was the Bartolomeo, taking the thing, so it's becoming an accurate thing. I am wondering if, since most likely Big Mom, we don't know about Kaido Big Mom, but if, let's say, her family was able to take her back to Whole Cake Island, I wonder if it's not going to create like a current like let's I don't know, like a new situation. Like a kid said, the world has changed completely since they've been in Wano. So I'm wondering if also something will shift in the Big Mom's territory, even now that she lost her Yonko status.
Well,
Knowing that the yeah.
again, I don't think what the paper said is going to change anything. Big Mom is still Big Mom, right?
Yeah,
The,
yeah,
the
of
people
course.
of her country is still going to fear her and listen to what she says. They're not going to like stop doing that because now the fact that we got a lot of rebellions happening, maybe the
Mm-hmm.
people might feel more empowered to go against Big Mom. I could see that being a case, but I don't think just because she's not considered by the newspaper a Yonko, I don't think that in itself is going to
Oh, no, no,
stop
no.
her reign.
I meant more like, let's say now it's just her public image because, like you said, her status, like I said, the status, I'm not talking about her being a Yonko, but her status, her public status as a Yonko. Let's say now, because Luffy and the Buggy went out, so Kaido and let's say Big Mom lost the status, but they're still Yonkos. But I'm wondering if now this cover story is not going to bring like a bigger story with Big Mom waiting because now she has a Germa, and we don't know if the Germa are going to send more soldiers on that way. I'm just wondering if it's not going to be like a story we're going to find out like in the I don't know, let's say in 10 chapters they're going to be talking about what happened in Whole Cake Island.
So maybe like
More,
so you're saying this could be a start of a war with the Vince
yeah,
Smokes and the Big Mom Pirates.
yeah.
I kind of like that. I like that idea. I mean, like how I'm looking at it now, right? We're seeing the Vince Smokes, the three Vince Smoke brothers, you know,
Mm-hmm.
take away Sanji. They're fighting Katakuri and Oven.
Yeah.
Now, I personally think Katakuri is stronger than the Vince
Mm-hmm.
Smokes individually, like the brothers individually. So
Yeah.
I don't really see I don't see the Vince Smokes winning this on their own. I don't see
Mm-hmm.
them beating a Yonko commander in Oven. Oven's no slouch himself, And then you gotta think about like a lot of the other Big Mom pirates that are still there. You know, I don't.
Mm-hmm.
I think Daifugu went to Wano. I think he did, but where's Cracker? Like, isn't Cracker still in Whole Cake Island? So if he joins, and Cracker
Yeah.
himself is like an army. He's like an army. You know what I mean? So I would think that the Vince Smokes are going to need some type of backup to get out of the situation. I don't think they're
Mhm.
going to be able to fight like a Sweet Commander in his home territory. You know, that where backup could come at any moment. You know, so I think they're going to need some backup. I could see Judge having to come help his kids out. You know, so I think you're on to something. And that
Yeah,
kind
I
of
just think there's something's gonna happen. Like you said, I don't think that they're gonna win, but I think there's going to be a result that will, it's Oda. He's gonna make some sort of shift where not Big Mom, but at least the world will feel the rift of that confrontation.
yeah, yeah. Well, I think it's gonna be like a domino effect, kind of. It's like
Yeah.
Pete, it's like Big Mom, like you said, Big Mom lost, right? The newspaper is kind of sullying Big Mom's image as well as Kaido's, and we might have a current war going on in Whole Cake Island. So the combination of all these elements is
Yeah.
going to really hurt Big Mom. It's going to
Mhm.
work against Big Mom. You know, like it could turn into a battle, which now that might empower other people to do other stuff. And we already know that there's other like revolutions going on in the world at the moment as well,
Mhm.
especially from what happened with Sabo. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you're definitely on to something right there.
Yeah, it's just the Barto thing basically done. And I'm gonna shift it before Angel because Angel heard that. And I know Angel talked to you about my take about Barto, which what I said is the idea of I had with Barto with Blackbeard is not like he is the secret 10th captain, but he'll either be the future 10th captain, in which I'll explain how. But most likely that Oda is making some huge links with Blackbeard's crew with Barto, and I'll now explain because I found something like a week ago that was very interesting, on Reddit, and then I checked with Oda's what he dropped, and it's true, and that made me clear that there are a lot of links with Blackbeard. And for first of all, Barto was introduced in Dressrosa with the same goal as Jesus Burgess, so a same goal as Blackbeard to get the Miramura no Mi. So from that thing, that is the most easiest thing. But there's one thing that Oda did is that Barto's nickname, the Cannibal, means has a double meaning in Japanese in the kanji, and it means the one who mocks. And then I remembered something is that Blackbeard was officially introduced and had his first rivalry with Luffy with the cherry pies at Mocktown. So
Yeah.
I'm seeing, and then I started looking at Barto as a individual. It's true that he has a lot of similar traits as the members of the crew, as saying that he believes that Luffy like a god, like he was sent by the god. Blackbeard's crew talk about destiny in a way. So I'm just seeing that Oda is making some kind of connection, or at least in the future, Barto will be important in the story.
So
Like, yeah.
hold up. You think are you saying that Bartholomew might join the Blackbeard Pirates?
I don't know because this could answer this thing as will the Straw Hats, like the other each faction, will have a traitor in their midst, in their allies or in their crew. Because I don't see the crew having it, but I don't see Barto saying that he is publicly when Luffy's not there defending his cause. So I don't think so. But I think that Barto will somehow in the future have some sort of connection in a way with Luffy and Blackbeard, either being the ally that will help out Luffy against Blackbeard's crew with his crew, or either he will be, I don't know, he will feel not rejected, but his love for Luffy, like never meet your heroes,
Yeah.
and that and Blackbeard will find it amusing in taking one of Luffy's friend as his 10th captain
Okay,
and
so
making the guy hates Luffy. Barto hates Luffy now and he wants to kill him, and he's gonna just let Barto screw up with Luffy stuff
hold on,
as a
hold on,
10th.
hold on. Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
Let's slow down a little bit, all right? You running a little too fast, okay? So Bartholomew, okay,
Yeah.
like the biggest Luffy fanboy, right?
Yeah.
The biggest Luffy fan from what we know. He possibly meeting Luffy, maybe next time they meet or something happens to where
Mm-hmm.
Bartholomew is disappointed in Luffy,
Yeah.
which could, in a sense, push Bartholomew against Luffy to becoming a traitor and joining Blackbeard, is what you're saying.
Hmm. Yeah, that could be a
Huh.
possibility,
I
but it's
mean,
not like, yeah,
it's kind of okay. I could kind of see where you're going. And at first,
yeah,
at first when you kind of mentioned it, I kind of disagreed with it at first, but it kind of made me think. Right, like you've seen the movie The Incredibles,
yeah,
and it was the main villain. You know how he
hmm,
used to be like the biggest fan of Mr. Incredible, but I forgot why he ended up getting disappointed in him. Somehow he ended up something pushed him away from being a fan to end up wanting to be an enemy and being a villain. So something kind of along that lines to where Bartolomeo genuinely is a fan of Luffy, but maybe like let's say maybe Luffy isn't a fan of what Bartolomeo has been doing, like ransacking Shanks's territory and uh doing all that stuff because he respects Shanks, right?
yeah,
So maybe something happens with him and Luffy to where they have a disagreement, and he ends up turning away from Luffy. That's kind of where you're getting at.
yeah. Then I have another thing that where I can see Blackbeard meddling with Luffy's alliance is Captain Devon, who has the power of the Kitsune, be able to become whoever she wants. And for what we saw in Bartolomeo, he's a great guy, not a great guy, but he's like really loyal to Luffy. But you know how Blackbeard is. So I'm wondering if also that's the very weak take. The thing that Blackbeard said, like, let's go, it's now to make our move. And he talked about the current climate in Wano. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
wondering if he's not screwing up with Luffy's, but then that would mean that Blackbeard would know how important is Luffy to the story.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah,
Katarina Devine like she goes impersonating Luffy, and then
yeah.
just start like bullying uh Bartolomeo. But I don't know if I see him as the 10th Titanic captain. Like that's my only kind of pushback on it. Like
Yeah, yeah, that's the thing that it's weak. I'm just saying it could happen in those things, but
I don't
and I
think
would
it's
see
weak.
Blackbeard do
It's
that.
not that I think it's weak. I just think it's just other because I guess it's just because some of the other theories that I have on who could potentially be the 10th
Mhm,
Titanic captain. You know, I think Weevil has a lot of potential of being the
mhm,
10th Titanic captain, right? Because because we because I think there's been theories of the fact that his mother, right? His mother, the one who claims that she was Whitebeard's lover or whatever, maybe she was part of the Rocks Pirates, you know? So maybe if there is a connection with Blackbeard and Rocks Zebek, right? Rocks D Zebek, um, maybe she would want to help Blackbeard in his goal, and therefore she would use Weevil, like maybe have Weevil join in that 10th spot. And then my other theory is that Zebek himself could be the 10th Titanic captain. You know, if let's say there's two, if there's these multiple souls living in Blackbeard, maybe Blackbeard's goal is to revive Zebek, and like he has Gecko Moria, right? We know Gecko
yeah,
Moria was dealing with
yeah,
zombies. So let's say if they somehow got Zebek's zombie, and maybe Gecko Moria like extracted the shadow of Zebek from Blackbeard. Blackbeard
mhm,
wouldn't die because if he has multiple souls living in his body, he would still have a shadow. It would just be one of three of his shadows or two of his shadows possibly. You know, going in, getting extracted and put into the zombie body, and either Zebek could be the 10th Titanic captain or Blackbeard himself. And I know that's like Blackbeard being the 10th Titanic captain. Yes, Blackbeard. Maybe Zebek is really the one calling the shots. And
yeah.
like Marshall D. Teach, like his personality is the more submissive personality, you know, and he's the one that's like, okay, I'll take the back seat. And Zebek, you call the shots and you run the show. And Zebek is like the real captain. A lot of fan canon, I know, but I'm just saying, it could go something along that line.
I
But
like this. I
Go ahead.
like this because I had always something that lately, I don't know if we talked about this. I think I talked only this with Joey Boy. So basically, an angel. Basically, I always liked this idea that Dr. Hoback, because when they talk about the mads, I'm wondering, because usually, because I have a lot of people in my friends, a lot of my friends are in the scientific, they do research and stuff like that. And I
Mm-hmm.
hear, and the way it's organized, usually when there's like scientists, like a group of scientists, they have a lot of interns. And we know Hoback is, I think, a bit younger than than Vegapunk and Judge and all of them. So I wondered if Hoback was part of the like an intern, or he was one of the assistant back then. Because if you think about it, Hoback with the shadows and making passing one shadow, giving the will to somebody else, is looks similar to what Vegapunk and Judge were talking about the lineage factor. And that would
Yeah.
make sense if Vegapunk would say, like, say, he's not loyal to the government, but let's say because it looks like he has loyal, not loyalty, but he has a soul. The action that Vegapunk has done, showing that he's not an evil guy. So I'm
Uh-huh.
wondering if Blackbeard, in a way, he has on his side Moria and somebody who understands the lineage factor. So it could make sense.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
That's
yeah,
what
that's
he
just
hoped.
that's just a theory, but I feel as though Gecko Moria, Gecko Moria, he has to have some purpose for Blackbeard. You know,
Mhm.
now my original purpose was maybe Blackbeard was going to Wano, and it would have made sense because Gecko Moria has history with Kaido. You know what I mean? So it would have been like a way to help Gecko Moria get revenge on Kaido. But it's like that never happened. You know, like I was wrong on that. So what is his purpose? Why do Blackbeard want him so bad and not just kill him and take his devil fruit? You know, which would still make sense if he just kills him and take his devil fruit. But it's like, yeah, that's kind of my thing on that. But so moving on from the cover story, right? We got we got Carrot, right? Carrot is going to be the new leader of the Minx. What you guys think about that? What are we?
Very happy. Very, very happy.
I'm pretty sure a lot of people just happy that she's not joining the Straw Hats.
Yeah, I think it's a good decision.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah,
the
Never
lack
expected it.
the lack of work in Sweet Arcs on making Carrot a believable new member is because she looked like she was a bit, yeah, she had the fighting scenes, but she didn't have like a flashback or a real seeing her dreams, like we had with every member of the crew. And Yamato in half an arc, because she wasn't there, she only came during the raid. So I'd say she was there only for half of the arc, even part of the arc, because there were two parts before the third part, the third part make
yeah,
more sense that she's going to join the crew. That's what bothered me. That's just the thing that bothered me.
yeah. And I
Mm,
like Yamato over Carrot as
Mhm.
Straw Hat Crew, so I'm actually cool with this decision, you know. But I do think they need another crewmate, just to kind of have that 10th crewmate, outside of Luffy.
all I got to say that when the spoilers came out, it was a pretty funny situation. But
Oh
yeah,
yeah, there are
What?
people in other discords who I told Angel about it, especially Mr. Bushido, who is an avid and he's very, let's say, he's very when when he decides on something, it's you cannot change his mind. And I think until today, he's still saying that it's that we still haven't seen the end. Maybe his idea is what it is said that Yamato will jump on the wrong ship and she'll find herself stuck with Kid. But there are a lot of people are still now people are getting serious that we still haven't seen her on the ship.
Yeah. So
look,
they think they're going to leave without her. Is that what you're saying?
Some are saying leave about her. She's gonna jump on Lost ship, or first of all, how can you mistake Lost ship with Luffy's
Yeah.
ship? Like one has a submarine, one has a ship,
Yeah.
or Kid's ship.
Yeah, I don't see her jumping on the wrong ship. Like how
Mhm.
I
I
see it
mean,
happening, how I see it
I mean,
happening
she's
is
never seen it.
how I see it happening is the Straw Hats they'll leave and like maybe Kinemon, Yamato, and Momonosuke, they all run to Tokage Port to go meet with them, but they're left by that time, and so Momonosuke goes into his dragon form and then flies to the Straw Hats, and I think they're gonna be able to like look and be like, yeah, this is the Straw Hat ship, and then Yamato is gonna stay behind while Momonosuke and Kinemon leaves. That's kind of how I see it happening. You know, they could get there before they leave. That's possible as well. But if they do leave, Momonosuke can always fly to him. So I don't see it being a case of because I think that Momonosuke and Kinemon are going to definitely want to say their goodbyes to the Straw Hats. You know.
I like that a lot because it reminds me a bit of the similarities of how Usopp and at the end of Enies Lobby, which I said the raid have a lot of parallels with Enies Lobby. How Usopp he rejoined the crew while the ship was already set sail. So
Yeah.
it could be a version of that. So I really like that.
Yeah. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, you got a good point. Good point. What was you gonna say, Angel?
Oh, I wasn't gonna say nothing. I was just
Yeah.
listening.
Yeah, but okay. I
Oh,
mean, yeah, the whole carrot thing. That's not that. She's gonna be the new king of Zoe or whatever. Cool. Cool. I think it kind of makes sense, even though she's pretty young. Because she has that experience going outside of Zoe, right? So she's gonna be that bridge from Zoe to the outside world. Even though she only been to Whole Cake Island, that's all she really been to. But either way, and she carries that Will Pedro. It's nice that they could keep Pedro's name alive. I like Pedro. Me personally.
Me too.
Just the fact that he was willing to sacrifice himself to help the Straw Hats continue on their journey. I know a lot of people was. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I feel indifferent about Pedro,
Yeah,
but
I know you
never
do. You feel indifferent about 90% of things we talk about. But yeah, right. Like we got Sakiyaki meeting Momonosuke and Hiyori again. Nice little moment. It kind of makes me think why Sakiyaki never like checked on Hiyori or anything. Like was being undercover like that important for him to where he was willing to let Hiyori go be like a work as a Orion. Good thing I don't think Denjiro allowed Hiyori to do anything too promiscuous.
But the thing is that's the thing that bothers me with the end of Wano is that there's a lot of the timeline is very weird because we don't know how long he was prison inside Wano, from Orochi and before he was able to escape. And that's the thing that bothers me. He didn't say how long he stayed, so I don't know. So maybe when he went out, Hiyori was so well hidden that he didn't know, and he only found out at the
Oh,
end.
yeah, good point. Good point. Yeah, I definitely
Um,
concede that.
I'm surprised by their reaction to uh, their grandfather being alive. But it is what it is. Happy ending.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and plus he does, yeah, because maybe he thought he already got sent to the future as well. Like I don't, yeah, you're right. He didn't really know what happened. Yeah, I guess it makes sense though, because he was locked up, right? Like he was,
Yeah, that's the
because
thing.
Orochi kind of had to take him away and use the old man as a replacement for him, you know. But yeah,
Yeah. I think Momo has a 50-50 chance of going with the crew. Momo and Kinemon. That's what I think right now.
I
why?
honestly don't think so. With what we saw during the raid and how he thought about the people, I think that at one point, if we saw him like, man up and just don't think about the consequences and be more reckless, but because that
Yeah,
showed
I
that
know. I
like,
know.
oh,
I know what you mean. I agree with you. I believe that if it was up to Momo, he wouldn't be staying with the Straw Hats. So, so the reason why I say it's a 50-50 chance is because I think something might happen where he is forced to stay on the ship. So who knows? We'll have to wait
Yeah,
and see.
I don't. Yeah, I don't think he's going. I don't think he's
You know,
going.
especially if he knows how to fly. I don't see how he can be stuck on the ship if he knows how to fly.
Yeah, it
I
makes
mean,
no
yeah,
sense.
the flying part is true. I wonder what could happen.
I don't. I think he's staying in Wano. He's going to act as Shogun. I think he does. I think he's already established that he's Shogun, and he took that mantle. And Sukiyaki to me just kind of confirmed it. He says, "Look, I just want to. I don't want to be Shogun no more. I want to go in seclusion. I think it's a better look for somebody a lot younger, right? That also had a little more traveling experience. It's like I don't see there's no more need for him to travel. He's been in the world already. He could also yes, he could leave Wano at any time, like go on like little kind of like how Boa leaves her kingdom sometimes. Like Boa doesn't just stay in the Kuja kingdom all the time. She leaves, whenever she's on like government duty or just want to go out and do some pirating, she goes. So Momonosuke's not. He doesn't have to stay confined in Wano all the time, but it's good to have him there, especially since he took that position of Shogun. And even if Sukiyaki did take it, he's going to eventually be Shogun. He's going to eventually have to be the successor anyway. So there's no point in giving back the mantle only just to give it back later. So
And, that, and also, it would be like repeating Odin's mistake they did with Odin.
exactly.
So
And I've always
basically,
said I think he's going to be better than Odin. He's going to
yeah,
be an
they even said
actual
it when he made
Shogun.
his speech. The narration said up on top that this is the moment that the Wano got the best shogun they ever had. I think they
Yeah,
said it in the chapter when he made his speech.
yeah,
So yeah, it makes sense that he'll be better than Odin in terms of a shogun, and Yamato
yeah.
might surpass Odin as an adventurer.
And I think and I've said that I think Momonosuke is going to be better than Odin, and I don't mean a better. I think Odin's always going to be. I don't think he's ever going to be as strong as Odin. I
No,
mean maybe because he does have that devil fruit. That devil fruit could it does kind of make him a bit of a threat, and he also can talk to Zoe. He could talk to Zunisha. Odin was able to hear Zunisha, but I don't think Odin could actually like command Zunisha, right? So I think when it's time, him being in Wano, he's gonna realize yeah, we need to release Pluton at this moment, and then he's gonna bring Pluton when the Straw Hats need it. It's gonna be
yeah.
something along that line. You know, but yeah,
Then the next part is I'm looking also at the chapter.
oh, okay. So I kind of wanna save that moment for. I want to save that conversation for last. Okay, so there's three. Okay. So there's three main topics I do want to talk about that I definitely want to talk about from here. Right. First topic. Let's talk about Caribou. Caribou. He knows about Poseidon. Now he knows about Pluton. And he says he has to tell a certain someone.
Mm-hmm.
What is Caribou's role? What is his role going to be? And who is this person that he needs to tell? I
For
don't
me,
I kind of I'll let you go on a little bit, but I was going to say I don't know if he's going to tell whoever this is yet. Cuz I think he might be there whenever we learn about Uranus.
mm-hmm.
And he's going to learn that information. And then I think that's going to be when he tells said person, and that's when he's going to learn. Unless he already told that said person about Poseidon already, and now he tells him about Pluton, and then later he tells him about Uranus. But who is that person? Who is the person that he's talking about? Go ahead and say what you were going to say, Cube.
Because there's something that always bothered me during the time that we saw Blackbeard talking about now that things are moving up in Wano. He knew about the current moments in Wano. I always thought that he had somebody on the spot. I always thought it would be Apu because then he was when we found out that he was one leaking all the information to the world government, to the world, I also saw maybe he was linked to him. But the fact that he talked about a certain someone, and we know that Karubu basically started his story by trying to join the Straw Hat to capture him or to use him, and it was the fake Straw Hats. So I'm wondering if his task was always to be near the Straw Hats, and that certain someone could be Blackbeard, because the Blackbeard is the only one that knew about what was happening in Wano currently,
Yeah.
which is very suspicious.
I think it's Blackbeard as well. But go ahead, Angel. I'll let you.
Yeah, I agree for the same reasons as you. I kind of thought the same thing.
You kind of like cutting out a little bit.
I say I agree for the same things as Cube.
Yeah. It makes sense. Because when Blackbeard said, like, he is going to go get whatever treasure or whatever that the world government has. I forgot what the what he said, like the quote he said, but he was saying something about like getting something that the world government's not really paying attention to. And
Yeah.
it would make sense for him to want to get the ancient weapons,
Yeah.
you know? So yeah,
I'm wondering if Uranus is not in possession of Dragon. Like, I do think he has wind ability with certain devil fruit, because one of the thing in Dressrosa is that he wanted to go after Dragon, and Dragon fled, and they didn't really fight, they fled. And I'm wondering if now it's the time to make a move, and I'm wondering if it's now maybe the time to make a move on the Revolution Army to get their ancient weapon.
Dragon with Uranus.
Wasn't wind where they were. It was wind protecting their territory before Blackbeard arrived. That's how they showed it.
I kind of like that because the devil fruit being Uranus. So, okay. I like that aspect because I've always went back and forth for what Uranus could be, right? Because Pluton we know is a ship. It's a form of technology, possibly, most likely. It's some form of technology, something probably man-made, right? Now, but on the different end, we got Poseidon, which is an actual living being. And the thing that conflicted me most was, what would Uranus be? Would it be like technology, or would it be a living being? Or you kind of added something new to the equation that I haven't really thought about. Or maybe it is a devil fruit.
Yeah.
It would make sense as well, right? Uranus being a devil fruit, a weather devil fruit. And there's a lot of speculation that Dragon has a weather type devil fruit. Which,
Linked to the
if you have the devil fruit of an ancient weapon, that in itself could possibly make you the most wanted man in the world. Go ahead.
No, like I said, exactly. And I like this, but I was always against it, because it was what I found out about Nami, but it could make sense because now when I think about it, I made the connection. One thing that Nami has, and that was one of the bases on one of the Vikings linked to Sweden, like Nami, a god, Freya. She is the god of weather, so like good weather, so it's wind and bringing the sunlight, the dawn. So, big thing in one piece. But also, she is also the god of harvesting fruits. And Nami has this thing with tangerine. So I'm wondering if literally, and Nami has always something with the Shiroshi and some and other people who have been suspected to be royals, to maybe possibly Vivi and Momonosuke. And she had huge connection with both of them. Momonosuke always wanted to hug her or sleep with her, and Vivi being like her best friend, and Shiroshi telling her, I feel protected around you. So I'm wondering, I always thought that maybe Nami somehow will connect Uranus to the story, or be close to the person who's Uranus. But the fact that it could be a fruit could be interesting because Nami has this big thing with fruits. So yeah, I like this idea that it could be a devil fruit.
Yeah, and if like you said, Blackbeard was after Dragon's devil fruit, like Blackbeard after Pluton, like especially with Caribou telling Blackbeard about Pluton, Caribou telling Blackbeard about Shirahoshi, and then he knows that, like, let's say he knows that dragon it has Uranus, or dragon is Uranus because of the devil fruit, and the possibility that he can have a third devil fruit. So just imagine him getting that third devil fruit and having Pluton and Poseidon on his thing.
Yeah.
That would make Blackbeard a very dangerous man.
And I actually have an idea on what is, because now that you think about it, and that's the idea of the devil fruit I thought the dragon has. And it might sound weird because it's like, it sounds like a normal devil fruit, but I think in the pirate world, I understand why they call it an ancient weapon. That's that powerful it could be. I think it's a wind logia. That's why we haven't seen it yet. Because it's basically this devil fruit in a world of pirates where you're always on the sea. Be able to control the wind, you control the world. You control how the world, the currents, you can control a lot of stuff. So I'm wondering if the wind logia, that's why we never saw it until now. And we know that it's going to appear. We've had every type of logia now, and now we are getting the unique ones, like the forest logia. So I'm wondering if it was placed in the story, and it's the wind logia.
Or it could be a weather Promethea.
Yeah. Yeah, me that bothers me that it could for others in the logia is the way that he was holding Sabo when he arrived on the ship. He seemed to be coming from the sea, like flying.
Yeah.
But then his upper body was always visible, but not his underbody, his lower body, and that shows a bit like Smoker and Crocodile when they go logia for with their devil fruits in the air.
Yeah.
That's we saw him. You look at the images when he brings them on the ship. His upper body is the only thing you see when he drops on, and he was holding him.
No.
So that's why it bothers me that it can be but then it could be Paramecia, but just they never show the lower body.
Or it could be like a Hito, right? Like because we know Luffy got the Hito no Mi Nika. Maybe he has like the Hito no Mi model Uranus. You know what I'm saying? Or it's like like he's actually kind of like Luffy's a god. He's like the god of weather or something. You know what I'm saying?
And out of the three ancient weapon, Uranus is the only one that's not a god, because Uranus is basically not a god but a personification of the sky. Because in from the Nami theories, Zeus is the first god of the sky, but he inherited that from the personification of the sky, which was Uranus, who was a Titan.
Yeah.
So also that ancient weapon could be a devil fruit could be possible because it's not like the other gods.
Yeah.
The other weapons, their origin, which is I like that a lot.
So I do kind of like I do kind of like where this is going though. I do like the idea of maybe Blackbeard is out there ancient, like hunting for ancient weapons, you know.
Yeah.
Cuz again Blackbeard never specifically said or hold on. Maybe wrong. Did Blackbeard specifically say he was after the One Piece? I know him and Luffy kind of conversating. He was like, "Yeah, the One Piece exists. I believe you." You know what I'm saying?
He said he wanted to be a pirate king. I remember one point he talked about being pirate king.
Okay.
And the two things we know, he wants to become pirate king. He talks about destiny, never forgetting your dreams. And there's one thing that they set up during the time skip, and which based on the idea of Uranus is the devil fruit. And maybe that's his entire goal. Because if you think about it, if he had like some sort of like huge connection of people who had information, maybe he knew that the location of Pluton is somewhere fixed, so he knew he could always get it. Poseidon, maybe he knew it was in Fishman Island. And Uranus, if it was a devil fruit, the first thing they said, the Blackbeard pirates' only ambition is to hunt down devil fruit users.
Yeah.
So maybe looking for the one that has Uranus devil fruit.
Yeah, that would
That's
make
an
sense.
interesting.
Go
That
ahead,
makes
Angel.
sense, because it always bothered me why, as a Yonko, the only thing he's interested in is devil fruits. I said he must be looking for a special devil fruit.
Yeah, because I think if he was trying to find Laugh-Tale, you know, we know that you need the poneglyphs, right? It's not like we've seen him actively hunt poneglyphs. Like I think like while Big Mom was away from Wano, that would have been the perfect opportunity for him to go to Whole Cake Island and get her poneglyph. At Wano, like if he would have came in at the end of Wano, that would have been the perfect opportunity for him to get the poneglyph on Zunisha and the poneglyph at Wano, right? But he hasn't went to Wano, you know. So it's like, when is he going to go after these poneglyphs? Maybe he's not after the poneglyphs. Maybe he already has a way to find a different way to find Laugh Tale. Maybe he's not even concerned with going to Laugh Tale. You know what I mean?
Actually, I do have something because a while back I had this take saying that I saw how Buggy and Toki got very sick on the last trip to Laugh Tale. So they had to drop each one to the point where one at Wano and one at the closest island before they reached Laugh Tale. And Shanks stayed with him, you know, because so that Buggy would stay. Like he would sacrifice his ambition for Buggy. And then we know that out of those two, no other Devil Fruit users were confirmed in Roger's crew. So we should go with the fact that there were no other Devil Fruit users. And all of them were able to go to Laugh Tale. But we know that Blackbeard has a Devil Fruit. And there's a huge problem of huge seasickness. So maybe you need a specific, if you don't have Luffy's Devil Fruit, because we know Laugh Tale is for Joy Boy, and Luffy has most likely Joy Boy's Devil Fruit due to Zunisha's, what Zunisha said. What if you need a certain type of Devil Fruits that will let you reach Laugh Tale? And since he has the Yami Yami no Mi, he's maybe not able to. He knows how to go there, but he's not able to enter. So he's hunting to be able to go there.
That is an interesting point, though. It's wild how the only two Devil Fruit users on a crew that were able, like a crew that went to Laugh Tale, the only people to get sick were the Devil Fruit users, like the only Devil Fruit users. Dang, I actually never actually thought about that. That is a very great point you brought up, man.
Yeah. And also, if you think about it, if it's seasickness, I would also think that maybe you need Uranus if you don't have the Gomu with you. Because if it's seasickness and it's all about the wind, stuff like that, it's a big thing. But if that's our take, maybe like I don't know what they did in Laugh Tale, but only certain types of will lets you reach there. And maybe you need like either ancient weapons or Luffy's Devil Fruit to get the Laugh Tale. If you have if you're like Roger in this crew and you have nothing else, then I think you can go to Laugh Tale. But if you have something else like another Devil Fruit that or you're not welcome, it could make sense why he's obsessed with Devil Fruits. Because one other Devil Fruit lets him reach Laugh Tale.
So I think we can all agree that Caribou is most likely talking about Blackbeard. You know?
Yeah.
And I think I'm trying to remember. Somebody shared a picture of Caribou in the Discord somewhere.
Yeah, with Che Guevara.
Like, yeah, his dad. It was a cover page with Caribou and his like, yeah. I
Based
thought,
off Che Guevara.
yeah, and he looked just like him. But yeah, so what was that third? It was something else I kind of wanted to talk about as well.
Well, there's the Cross Guild, and there's the man with the burn with the
the Cross Guild. Let's go. Let's talk about the Cross Guild. Let's talk about Buggy. I know Angel is going to want to talk about some Buggy. So let's get Angel. You start this off, man. Let's talk about some Buggy and the Cross Guild and what's going on with this.
So for me, I think it's pretty obvious that Buggy saved Crocodile and Mihawk, you know, took them under his wing, and and as a way to repay their debt, they decided to join. Form an alliance with Buggy and create the Cross Guild.
How do I mute this man's mic? How do I mute?
And they probably ran into some treasure.
How do I mute this man's mic?
I don't know what treasure, but they probably ran into a lot of treasure. At some point, they ran into a lot of treasure because I don't know how they're able to start putting bounties on Marines' heads. So it's either they started getting a lot of treasure, or Buggy's business is just doing that good.
Man, I need to mute this man's mic talking about Buggy saving
You didn't see what I did?
Mihawk.
When he finished, I mute him like for a second. No, man. Because I know, dude, I know it's a big troll, but I just want to say something before everybody starts, and I think that's who is the real mastermind behind the Cross Guild. It's not somebody put on Reddit. Don't you feel like the Cross Guild looks just like the Barkworks Guild, Jolly Roger? The two swords that comes in the middle, that crosses. It's the same one as the Barkwork in the form of how the guild Jolly Roger was made.
There. I
Yeah, I also
again,
think it's. I also think it was Crocodile's idea.
I kind of would say Crocodile probably brought the idea, and
Yeah,
but I would think like I think
because
it's a guild though. I don't think it's looked at as there is a leader. It's just you
no,
know, Big News Morgan is gonna put Buggy's face on this guild. I think that's what it is.
I honestly just think they are decided on just making Buggy the face because it would be easier for them,
Maybe.
and
for those
actually,
two. Because we know that Crocodile doesn't really like being in the spotlight with Baroque works. You know, he was keeping that undercover. He doesn't like his identity to be known. And
Yeah.
Mihawk, he probably didn't care.
Yeah, I agree. I could agree with that, but I don't think it was no Buggy saved the day or anything. I think, if
no,
anything,
no, no.
I think Mihawk and Crocodile probably saved Buggy. If anything, I think because they weren't even nowhere close to each other to really even save any. You know what I mean? So I don't even know if I'll say Mihawk saved Buggy because Mihawk was dealing with his situation at the same time, or at the same time Buggy was dealing with his situation. Crocodile, on the other hand, I don't even think nobody was really after Crocodile because he was already ousted from the Shichibukai. So maybe
Mhm.
Crocodile helped like Buggy or something, you know.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's been a week since. Oh wait, how long has it been since the seven Warlord stuff?
Or over a week.
Over
Over
a
a
week?
week.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, it's probably yeah. I don't know. Anything could have happened during that time span. Could have
Yeah,
had a meeting.
but I'm saying I think the Marines were all like pretty much confronting the Shichibukai at the same time, right? So if, let's say, Mihawk was busy dealing with the Marines after him and Buggy was dealing with the Marines after him, I don't think like Buggy could have saved Mihawk or Mihawk could have saved Buggy. You know what I'm saying? Now Crocodile, I think, was available, right? Because
Yeah.
he wasn't a Shichibukai at the time. He was just kind of a normal pirate at this point because he already got kicked out pre-time skip. You know, so I could see him possibly maybe assisting Buggy. You know what I mean? And then maybe they went to Mihawk afterwards. You know, like maybe they went to Mihawk to say like, hey, like Mihawk probably dealt with his situation, and they went to Mihawk said, hey, you know, we're going to constantly be after, like the Marines are going to constantly be after us, so we might as well fight back. You know what I mean? Something along that line.
And
Yeah, it's gonna be.
I'm gonna say
It's fun.
something that might change our mind on Crocodile because I was thinking of it the last few days. And when you think about it, we know that he has some sort of past with the Revolution Army, with Ivankov talking about him like, she knows him like a child, Croco Boy. And the minute that it was in O'Hara, the O'Hara video we saw about the Crocomom, the only good thing about that theory that I liked was that Crocodile changed his attitude the moment he learned the relationship between Dragon and Luffy. And there's one thing that we found out in Wano is that all prisoners of the world government, when they're in prison, and we know he was in Impel Down, what do they hear? They hear about the story of the sun god Nika. So, and then he was also a Marineford when he heard about the Whitebeard talking about this great war.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering if, and we know that he never said he wanted to become king of the world. He wanted Pluton to change the world. So I'm wondering if he had this misguided way of doing it, and maybe
Mm,
now his cross guild is in a way to help this change now. That's what I'm
yeah.
thinking about. Sun God Nika.
That's interesting. Interesting perspective. The
Yeah.
funniest thing I thought about this chapter was the fact that they put in contracts out on the Marines. Though.
Of
That's the
course.
thing, that's the thing I'm saying. Like, it's not like just they're surviving, they're changing the playing field once again,
Yeah.
like the Revolutionary Army are doing with, and I've said the Revolutionary Army being created years after Roger was born, and they became active like a few years before Luffy ever met Shanks. Makes me think that maybe they knew about this change that will happen in a
Yeah.
few years as well. Because we know Odin talked about it as a prophecy. In 20 years, Joyboy will return and will save Wano.
Yeah, man, things are definitely changing now. Things are
Yeah.
definitely changing. You know, I'm curious, like we was talking about the cover page earlier. Like, I'm curious how this whole situation, this potential battle that could, or war that can unfold in Whole Cake Island, how that's going to affect things as well. You know, like that's also an interesting thought, right? So yeah, I'm
And
definitely curious I'm definitely curious on how this whole cross guild was created. And what about Boa? Like, what about Boa? She's not part of it.
I
She's
think she got captured.
so that's kind of that's saying like Kobe
Yeah.
defeated Boa.
Because I don't remember like 3 years ago there was a big huge controversy because Oda, we know that was the time when he was doing a lot of stuff, and at one point he when the first time he did the chapter, the unofficial version, and then it was changed because when he heard the rumors on the official, he changed immediately and he apologized for all of those who read the unofficial. He gave Kobe, instead of saying captain, it said rear admiral.
Yeah.
And then he said as a joke, it might be a potential future, but maybe it'll be in a very long time he'll become rear admiral with a smile. And that was his answer to it. And people were saying Kobe's going to do something big. And that's why people always thought that Hancock was defeated, because
Yeah.
that there was this big controversy.
Yeah,
That's why
man.
Blunt was the official one. But I want to say something because you don't know the Blunt. But what did I tell you when we Angel? You can ask Angel. The thing I said to when we heard that Buggy became a Yonko, and I said to Angel the Joy Boy, knowing Buggy and how he makes alliance with everybody, he most likely got all the Shishibukai under his wing, because they said the one thing Buggy only had was a deep connection and territories with the delivery service, because he's helping nations who are not held by the government, and that's how he makes his money. He has mercenaries that work for him and help countries. He's like what's the, because I know you're military. It's like not black ops, but the private security, like in military. The
Like
private
special
security
ops,
military, special ops.
MSG.
And they said that he's
But I
similar to
mean,
he has similar.
special ops
Yeah.
is more of a special operation thing. It's like they go on secret missions though.
It's more like the ones who come back from military and they become like private contractor, but in movies they usually are the ones that kill people.
Like
They come back to a state.
mercenaries.
Hmm?
Like mercenaries.
Not mercenaries. It's and they always talk. There was a show called Jericho that was about that. It was ex-militaries like Delta Marines, and they all
Yeah,
work for
but
private contractors like
yeah,
private security.
like
Yeah,
they're like private. They work for like private military.
yeah, yeah, like something like that. That's
Uh
how Buggy's organization was explained post time skip, and I think it was explained in the data book and
yeah.
how Buggy was able to do that. So for me, and then that's what I said to Angel and Joy Boy like 3 weeks ago when we heard about Buggy. I said most likely he did alliance because that's how he did all his crew. Alvida, Marineford, he just allied with other stronger people to join him.
But let's say Buggy was the captain of this new crew, right? Like Mihawk was his follower. So does that mean that like we get like Buggy versus Luffy, Mihawk versus Zoro, Sanji versus Crocodile?
Actually, it's not bad because Crocodile basically had a lot of run-ins with Sanji without knowing Mr. Prince. He was
Yeah,
the one.
Crocodile got beef with Sanji.
Yeah.
He's his beef with Sanji.
But
He's
except
gonna
they're
be.
gonna be working together though, for at least for a while
Yeah.
probably. The Cross
Yeah,
Guild, man, that's wild. That is wild. All
yeah.
right,
I
so
hope we.
go ahead.
I have nothing. Continue.
Nah, say what you're going, cause I was about to move on. I know
Oh, I was
you.
just gonna say I hope we see them soon.
Yeah, I do. I hope so. I hope we get more of this Cross Guild and how it came to be. You know, and I hope we find out what happens with Boa. I'm sure she might
The
have been
pirate,
defeated by Kobe, but I feel as though
the pirate
Kobe,
empress standing.
huh?
I said she's still standing.
Yeah, and I'm thinking like this could leak because Kobe's relationship with Luffy, Boa's relationship with Luffy, like could that come into play with them too? And if so, would that make
I mean,
Kobe allow like not take Boa in?
I don't think you would play a factor because I don't see why this would be mentioned.
Yeah.
Maybe Kobe's like fanboying off of Luffy in front of
Yeah, but why
Boa
would
or
he be
something.
fed for a fight?
All I'm saying is that the guy that came up on Reddit a few years
Hold on,
ago
hold on.
about this.
Let me answer this question, Q, because he said,
Yeah.
"Why would maybe he sees Luffy's poster, right? Like he has
Yeah, but I was
Kobe
like,
right there.
but like,
He,
wouldn't it have been like over like a week ago?
we
So
we
like,
don't know when
Luffy's
the
your
fight
fighter.
ends with Kobe and Boa, right? But maybe Kobe still has her a prisoner. You know what I'm saying? He's maybe still escorting her for whatever reason. And he's reading the newspaper, he sees Luffy and he mentions him. And then Boa also said, Luffy, whatever. And then Luffy, cool with Luffy. All you would need is Bartolomeo there, and it would just be a whole Luffy gasm.
This man. Nah, I don't know. I don't think when if we ever see the altercation and how it and what happened during it, but I don't think Luffy will be mentioned during it.
Yeah. What was you gonna say, Q?
I'm saying the guy that came up on Reddit a few years ago that theory that Kobe might be gay might work in his because all of what's it called the entire thing about Boa Hancock and her dowry food is if you fall in love with her. So he's
Yeah.
maybe immune to it. He said that a year when it happened, when they heard that he was going after Boa Hancock. Someone on Reddit came out of this theory that actually maybe Kobe is. He was explaining how he doesn't look like he's interested to girls, and the way he talks about Luffy as a fanboy is that maybe he's secretly in love with Luffy.
Yeah.
Or
Or maybe
I mean, it could be possible, but isn't like Bo Hancock stuff like with like laws where he can't cut you if your will is too strong, and she can't put you in stone.
No, there was this guy. Remember when the Marines came to pick her up to go to Impel Down? She turned all of the guys that were in love with her
but
in the
they were all
Marines
weak.
into stone.
They were
Yeah,
all weak.
and one of them, and only the one guy, and she says, "Ah, you haven't fallen in love. You're not in love with me." That was her
He
response. So
stabbed
that's
his
what people
hand though.
assume it's words of love.
He
Oh,
stabbed
I
he
always thought it was just always thought it was just like if you find her attractive or have dirty thoughts around her, you will
Yeah.
be.
yeah, it is something like he had to stab himself in order to not fall to it. Like he stabbed his hand or something, if I remember correctly. But like I could see Conqueror's Hockey being able to like negate that, and maybe cute, Kobe has developed Conqueror's Hockey, like Gart, like Gart.
That would be pretty interesting.
Just saying, maybe he was able to break it.
Yeah, that would be pretty interesting because honestly, yeah, that would be funny if Kobe had.
But like Luffy's unable to fall under Boa's charm as well, and
That's because he's a moron. He doesn't. He's like Goku. Goku didn't know what was a wedding. I think Luffy doesn't understand the concept of being in love.
yeah, maybe that's Kobe as well.
Yeah.
You see, that's the other thing. Never mind. I'm not gonna say that because I think it was like a different question. Maybe never mind. Like the question, I don't think the question has anything to do with her devil fruit ability.
Yeah, I don't know. I have to, I don't think I don't think her ability just work on everybody though, because then she should be able to go to like Kaido and then just go defeat Kaido real quick. Like, hey, I'm gonna go piece up Kaido and use his lustful ways. And I don't think Kaido is like, I think Kaido likes women. He be having like Black Maria by his side. I think, I think Will does play a piece of it.
Oh, of course, obviously.
And Conqueror's Hockey could probably negate it because that's related to Will. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it says the devil fruit uses lust or perversion. So I guess if you find her attractive, or I don't know, something like that.
There, there, and I don't. Maybe Kobe is just not susceptible to that, you know,
Mhm.
because he's not like
Maybe,
that perverted.
maybe not.
Or maybe
Actually, yeah,
maybe
we've
Kobe
we've
is
never
stoned.
seen. I don't think we've ever seen Kobe interact with a female character his age.
I wonder. I wonder
No.
how her devil fruit will work on Pika.
Who?
Pika.
Oh,
Pika.
Yeah, like how would
oh,
her
wouldn't it
devil
just
fruit
like?
work on Pika?
I think he would turn to stone.
But like Stone is like his devil fruit. Like you know, he's like he swims through Stone. Like I think he would be able to
But,
like. like I
but
don't
I
know.
think you were right about the will as well. That plays a factor. So it
Yeah.
depends. If his will is also turned to stone, maybe he won't be able to use his devil fruit as well, and he'll be stuck.
Yeah, I think it'll just probably be a battle of will or something.
Like I think that's how the Marine officer, I forgot who it was, the one that you was talking about, Cube. He like
Yeah.
again, I think he had to stab his hand because I think he had to almost break. Like he had like his will was faltering, so in order to like strengthen his will, he had to like hurt himself so he could focus on the pain instead of focusing on his lust for her. You know, so I think that was kind of him refocusing his will. You know what I mean? And that's how he was able to avoid being turned to stone.
But then again, we don't know what the bounties of her sisters are. Maybe or the bounties they could have because they're his. What's his name? Her sisters would be strong too. So I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe he defeated her instead, and someone else defeated Boa. But who knows? We'll have to wait and see.
yeah, but yeah. So
Wait,
moving on, the last topic of discussion,
The best one.
we got a big bomb drop. Something I think that's going to be talked about. You know, something that's going to bring many theories to the table. We got this mysterious man with the burnt face. And Kid talked about him as if he can read poneglyphs potentially. Like he got the poneglyph copy, right? The copy of the poneglyph, and he said, "Hey, we got this man with the burnt face, so we got something over you." I guess maybe Kid don't know that Robin could read poneglyphs as well.
I mean,
And
it's not public information.
and then Law, yeah, yeah, you're right. But Law also kind of looked like he might know a little something. And then Robin also looked like, hold on, who are y'all talking about, right? Who are you guys talking about? Is there somebody out there who could potentially read poneglyphs as well? What? Who? I got two questions. Two questions. I'm gonna ask one, and then I'll probably ask the other question a little later. After we kind of, who is this guy that we're talking about? Like, who is this mystery man? I'm gonna let Cube go because I know he has some thoughts on this.
Okay, so
Or hold on. Should I let Angel go? Because I know you're gonna really want to expand. So I think Angel
no
might
worries.
have
Go,
a.
Angel. You should go
I think
first. Yeah, you
Angel
should go
might have a
first.
shorter answer. So let's let Angel go. And I don't want Angel saying I agree with Cube. So I want to let Angel go.
I mean, that's basically what I was gonna say.
What?
Because we already, I mean, I don't know when did we have this discussion? I think we had this
Because
conversation. I don't.
like this month, you understand, I've been talking about this with Angel some privately for the
Okay.
last months after I had this idea,
Okay. So
and
I'll
this
let Cube go.
basically
I'll let Cube go.
this
Go ahead.
solidified it. So basically, I think it's somebody from O'Hara, and I'll explain because it's but I saw that you were going on it, but I'll explain how I thought of it a few months ago. And it's because I rewatched the ASL flashback, and there was something that bothered me. It was the speech of Dragon when he saved the people from O'Hara, the people from the Great Terminal. And he made a
Yeah.
speech saying that to all of those who still have the will to fight and who will to fight and don't want to give up, even though you were abandoned, you are welcome to join my ship. And I remembered how the fires, if you go back, the fires were infernal crazy, but he was able to create a pathway with his wind, like the wind was blocking it. So my
Right.
idea is, and we know I already told you that the Revolution Army was founded between 24 to 19 years ago, and they started to get really getting active. They were getting active during that time, but they were active as a revolution army. Oda said in that book, 19 years ago. And I said the fact that he might have been in Ohara, I might think that he might have saved a few people from Ohara if at one point when everything was burning down. And I also believe that the man marked by the flame is a double meaning. It could be somebody who has a burn mark, but also who was not betrayed, but the world was against him. You know, you were marked by the flames.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you felt I think the way I read it is like some sort of um like something of a society, like somebody who was really marked by the flame, like he's away from society now, from something that happened. And also, I've always said it's very suspicious. Robin has completely changed since the time skip. And it looks like she found her purpose. And the only way if we know Robin is if she finds closure about O'Hara. So seeing somebody, and Oda showed it that Nami doesn't have, Robin didn't have like just her mother. She had like 30 scientists, scholars who adored her like she was their younger sister. So I'm wondering if Dragon maybe has somebody who reads Poneglyph. And it goes with my idea that the theme of dragons of crew, like Sabo, is people who are thought to be dead and who are saved by Dragon and are fighting the good fight.
Yeah.
So that's why I think it's something from Ohara.
Okay. I'm thinking, I agree. I think it's definitely somebody from Ohara, you know, because
Yeah.
just for the fact that you got somebody who has a burned face, right? A scarred face, burned scar at least, burned scar. That's what Kid in Law, like that's what Kid said. Like he was explaining the man like the man with the burned scar, almost like the dude just had a physical impairment of having a burned scar on his face, or I think he said his face. I'm not sure, but he just said burned.
He
scar.
said man marked by flames. The man marked by flames.
Oh, let me see. He says, "What you mean finding the man with the burned scar? That's
the
not
burned
enough."
scar.
That's what the official says, at least.
Okay.
Says, we're going to have to put all the strength in the test if we want to." Then, Kid says, "What you mean finding the man with the burned scar? That's not enough to go on." And then Luffy says, "Burned scar? What do you mean?" And Law looks kind of like he knows something. And Robin looks with a question mark. So yeah. So I was thinking Professor Clover, you know. I think he would be the easiest person because he's the only really known guy, but he's kind of old, right? So I don't know if he lived that long. And somebody say, did he get shot in the face or something?
No, Nico's mom and Clover are both that we know they're dead because we saw they're dead on screen. They were shot. And they were dead. Their body was dead on the floor. And Clover had like a shot in the head, like on the temple. It was like good luck surviving that, even in One Piece.
So, because I wouldn't think it would just be some random scientist, some rando scientist that was kind of irrelevant during who was just one of the other scientists. Could it potentially be Robin's father? Like, did we ever get any closure on what happened with Robin's father?
We don't know who her father is. They never talked about it.
They never said anything like he died or
no.
He was on some mission or something. Cause like
just a reminder.
Cause like he was gone, yeah. What if he came back during the whole O'Hara incident, try to save his family, end up getting burnt, like try to look for his daughter and his wife, and got burnt doing it, and escape, realize they were dead or whatever, and he's still out in the world, like, man. Go ahead. What was you gonna say, Q?
I was gonna to back you up by saying that, if anybody's gonna say, yeah, but why did Robin never talked about her in her flashback, stuff like that? Don't forget, Sabo was introduced in Luffy's flashback, even though we really got a flashback of his childhood with Ace. Oda has a way, and then when you look at stuff, you saw the three sakes, but we never pointed why there were three sakes. We saw the third one on the side, even in the manga, in the flashbacks when he thinks of Ace when he's going to get to him at Impel Down. So it doesn't shock me that we might get a secondary flashback where we find out more about her father.
Yeah, man.
It could be.
Yeah.
What were you saying, Angel?
No, I'm just doing research right now, thinking of who, it could possibly be. But
Yeah.
I don't. But like, if it was anyone, I don't think it would be someone from the O'Hara Island. I think it would probably be someone from, the ship that was trying to leave. Someone that was on the ship.
No, the
Because
idea
I,
is not somebody who was on the island, but somebody from O'Hara. It could be also like Blunt
Yeah,
said,
where you
the Robin's father didn't have time to come back when he came back.
what you
That's
talking
the
about?
thing.
Hey, Angel just want to find something to disagree with. Like we
no, I
talking
wasn't
about just
talking about what
somebody.
you said. I wasn't. I wasn't talking about what you said.
You say you don't think it would be somebody from the O'Hara Island, but from the ship that was leaving Ohio. That's not what that wasn't the argument. We're talking about just somebody generally from
I,
O'Hara. Like Robin's father was nowhere to be found. He wasn't on the island or the ship, but we're talking about potentially it being her father. You know what I'm saying? Like
I know.
we're just talking about
I wasn't
somebody
trying
whose
to argue.
origin is from O'Hara.
I wasn't trying to argue. I was just putting an idea up that I was saying I don't think so because, I feel like the ship with, his idea, I feel like it being from someone on that ship, it would be the closest to Dragon ship. But I don't know.
No, my idea on that, and that I can back it up. If you remember the Great Terminal, you can see some similarities with the Great Terminal and O'Hara, knowing that the world government did something, tried to burn it all up. And in Great Terminal, we found out that Dragon was nearby actually, but nobody knew that he was there. And so it could be the same thing. He was maybe nearby when the fires were going on. And also, I like to say that the attack that Aokiji used on Jagger Soul was time capsule. His only non-offensive attack is to preserve somebody. That's what he did on Luffy. But now
Yeah.
people are saying that Aokiji he was never against Luffy. Maybe he knew about Luffy and he was somehow protected, knowing that in Marineford he saved Luffy from a mortal attack from Akainu at one point by giving him a much lesser, weaker attack. So yeah, so that's why I do see that there's more that meets the eye. The only thing that Oda showed us in Ohara is that all the civilians were killed on the boat, from what we saw, and that Clover and Nico Robin's mom, Olivia, were both dead. That's the only thing we know. But they never show what happened to the other scholars or to the other side of the thing. Maybe they were not all there. So yeah, or Robin's father was maybe coming back. Like Ohara was very quick when you think about it now. When you look at other flashbacks, there are a lot of different parts we didn't see of Ohara.
Yeah. All right. So the last question I want to ask about this, right? Where does
Yeah.
this leave Robin? Right? Where does this new breakthrough that we got about another person? The man with the scar, burnt scar. Him possibly because it was kind of implied. It wasn't really it wasn't officially said he could read poneglyphs, but it's kind of implied the way Kid was talking, right? Where does this leave Robin, right? Because I've always said Robin is probably the most valuable character in the series because of her the fact that she could read poneglyphs, But now you got somebody else who can, so it's like people don't need Robin. They don't need Robin. The world government could execute Robin. Or like other pirates could execute Robin with no problem, and there would still be somebody that exists in the world that could read poneglyphs. So, I think that's false now because I think Sukiyaki could read poneglyphs as well.
Yeah.
If
I mean,
so,
in my opinion, it doesn't really, what's it called, decrease her value because most people don't even know she can do that. So I don't. There being more people, I don't really see it really changing anything
but I
Actually,
mean,
for her.
Go
There's
ahead.
something that she has now if Yamato joins the crew, an advantage that no other person has. The
Oh
log,
yeah, she has.
the book, the journal of Odin, knowing that he went to the one place, and we know there's no information about the One Piece, but they never said there's no information concerning that would concern importance to Robin about the history.
Wait, didn't she give it to Momo?
Yeah, but you know Robin, maybe she read it like Blum said in the stream. Maybe she read it and maybe something like she doesn't need to have everything, but maybe like there's one passage that interests her and she knows where to go. Like we know that in Alabasta, she didn't need to write it down, but she knew that Wano was a place and she never told anybody, but it was great importance for Pluton.
I
You
mean,
know how Robin is.
and Angel, you got a good point about like Robin not a lot of people knowing about Robin, but I think like the world government knows. I think some people like I could see Blackbeard somehow getting a hold of that information, especially maybe even through
Maybe.
Caribou, right? Um,
I think it would just make the world government much more scared and want to kill Robin more at the fact that they find out that there's more people who can read. I think they would be in a much bigger hurry to kill her
I
if there
think
was
they
more.
I think they would still want to kill her just equally because I don't think there being more is going to want them to kill her even more. Like the fact that she was like the only known one, possibly to them, that would make them more. You know what I'm saying? Like
No,
either
because
way,
like
I
she's
don't
the
think
only
it changes the importance. Because I don't think there's more, so we gotta kill her even more. Because then you kill her, what? There's still gonna be people out there that knows how to do it. I don't think
And
it
yeah,
does.
but there's one less.
I get
don't
that,
forget
but I don't think it makes them
what
want to kill her more. The fact that she know how to read, they want to kill her. I don't think if she was the only one or if she was one of the only ones, it would make them want to kill her more. I think it would just add more people for them to want to have to kill, just as equally to her.
I mean, no, I mean like they would want to kill. I don't mean like just her in general. They would want to kill her and just her. I mean like they would want to kill everyone else. I think they would be in a much bigger hurry to kill people who can read poneglyphs if they found out there was more people. That's what I was trying to say. Not
and
just Robin, like as an individual.
Mm, I kind
also
of
don't
think maybe
forget
at.
that
Go ahead, Cube.
I was gonna say because that's what people are suspecting. People are suspecting now that we knew that they maybe had hints about Luffy's, importance of his Devil Fruit, but it's only at Wano that they said now we have to kill him because he's too close to awakening it. People have talked about now that we see since Enies Lobby, the concentration on killing Luffy has been much bigger. So also, but we didn't know that. So we always assume Luffy is a danger because he is the only person who can read poneglyphs. So let's not take that Luffy is a bigger threat to Robin. Robin can read the history. Luffy can basically change the world for them, can turn the world upside down. So let's not think that Robin is the most dangerous, the biggest danger for the world government in Luffy's crew. Luffy is the number one biggest enemy they have to get out. So I would not say that I'm not saying that they will not take occasion to the opportunity if they have to kill Robin, they would. But I think that they have more pressing issues right now than Robin
I
or
Yeah.
other new
I
poneglyphs.
I think
Because
I
now
think I would say that they were both. I would say they're equally as important because
yeah,
Robin still because despite Luffy being who he is, Robin is kind of the key to he. It's like Luffy's like the bullet, but Robin is the gun in a sense. Like the bullet isn't as dangerous as a bullet is to take. It's not dangerous until it's shot out of a gun. Because you got to point that gun. Robin is like once Luffy learns the stuff, like, but you need Robin in order to learn the stuff. That's when Luffy is at his most dangerous. You know what I'm saying? But without Robin and without maybe some of the secrets of the or without somebody to read the poneglyphs, like it's Luffy's not gonna be as big of a deal. Is what I'm saying. To at least I would say in the world government's eyes. He just has a very it's his devil fruit, right? But the secrets is the knowledge. It's like knowledge is power, right? Like the knowledge is power. Robin is the key to that knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Once she opens that door to all that knowledge, that's when Luffy is going to be like, yeah, make that change or whatever. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense. So I would say about equal. It's like a gun and a bullet. You know what I mean? Individually, they're both not as dangerous as they are with each other. But you need that gun in order to fire the bullet.
Yeah, no. Oh, actually, I have one last thing. Somebody on Reddit showed it. You know the scar on Mihawk?
Yeah.
They're located at the two other people who have the scars located same position that we seen is Shanks. We see one time Shanks will open up with a scar, and Zoro. And they said all three of them have one connection, and it's Buggy. So the idea as a joke, maybe Buggy is the one who gave the scar to Mihawk. It's a funny take, but it's true. They have all the three the same position scars.
Yeah.
Oh.
Y'all really like milking this whole scar thing, ain't y'all?
Oh, but
Nah,
it's
we're not.
swordsman, and he didn't have it before, so it's interesting to say who's man. And he left Marineford unscathed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's big feat.
He cut himself when he was eating steak with his little steak knife. That's all it is.
He
That's
fell
all
asleep
it
like
is.
Garp.
Make sure you guys hit that like button. Also subscribe and hit that bell for notifications. Let me know in the comments what you think. Do you agree? Do you disagree with anything we said? Do you have anything to add on to what we said? Let me know in the comments. I'm interested to hear your opinions. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, and join the Discord. Anyway, y'all, it's your boy Sean P, the Bluff God, and I'm out of here. Peace.